Going on, everyone? Happy Thursday. It's kind of Thursday, throwback Thursday, fun Thursday, whatever it is. It's February 12th, episode 136. And Zach, you can just nod along behind because whether you disagree or not, I make the rules around here. Okay. But Ryan Ripken Show, appreciate you guys. It's kind of a slower time frame because when the Super Bowl ends, spring training, and you get excited about some moments. We'll get some clips maybe of some live BPs. Maybe people are feeling something. Maybe people are overreacting. That's all fine and dandy. But we do have a little bit of news to talk about at least, so it's not too slow. Because guess what? Today's the day, especially if you're a Baltimore Orioles fan. The Orioles signed a pitcher.
Yay!
They did it. And I think a lot of people have mixed emotions on it, but I'll break it down for you. Chris Bassett reportedly is going to the Baltimore Orioles. We'll discuss that. We'll discuss some other news around camp. We have had a lot of conversations over the last couple weeks with people involved in MLB, so maybe we can do a little bit more of a discussion involving some of the position battles down there in Sarasota with the Orioles. And then just some national stories that are going on. Jeff Passan had a pretty intriguing article out about how this CBA is going to be explosive, the new deal. And there is a lot of emotion behind what has happened so far over the last 2 years for what the Dodgers have done. White Sox head of operations had some questionable comments about a player that he acquired. Maybe doesn't have the right scouting report, which is kind of funny. And then the Steelers are creating a lot of noise outside, but it's not from the current team. It's from their alumni.
Yeah.
So we'll weigh in on that and a whole lot more. But that is it. If you are new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. There's Brad to my left. Brad, happy Thursday.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up? Fire shirt, by the way.
It is a fire shirt, not gonna lie. I feel like I have authority when I wear this shirt. If I it looks like, hey, this guy knows ball.
Well, I feel like Pablo, it just seems like you can carry more aura.
Yeah.
You have more sticking power. It's just like, oh, this guy, one of the greatest. I mean, he is the greatest.
Emphasis on power.
Yeah. Big power guy.
Yeah.
Who's not a big power guy? Zach Bollinger. Bolly, he's more of a Pete Wheeler. Oh, gosh. Hey, Bolly.
You in the picture?
I hit nothing but bombs.
So is that
include your internet?
Yeah. Did you knock out?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Don't know why it worked every other time, and now it's awesome. It's a Thursday. This is what happens. This is what we're dealing with. It's Thursday at the end of in the middle of that. Super Bowl ends, spring training gets fully underway, and my internet decided it's taking a break, I guess. So that's what we're dealing with. Love it.
Yeah. He could also be oh, yeah, I know. You're not a Pablo. You don't have a Keisha Phillips type build either to hit some tanks. I don't know how to
I just gap to gap.
Not Pete Wheeler either, because we know you don't got wheels either.
I just go gap to gap. I'm a gap to gap player. I'm just going to stand on second, get yourself in scoring position, let others drive you in. It's what I do. I don't look at the stat sheet. I don't need the RBIs.
Well, maybe during all this time, the power's back. You look decent.
Yeah,
it's good.
It's in and out, but yeah, looking better now.
Yeah,
we're just going.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, you know what? It is Thursday, and the Winter Olympics is going on. So before we get into some of the action, Brad, you got to pull out, and I saw it humming in the chat.
It is. Yeah. Right out the gate, people are loving this one. Listen, Winter Olympics are happening. I can't believe, by the way, that the Winter Olympics are happening. It just feels like this past summer was the Summer Olympics. But best Winter Olympic sport, Rip. And the options this time around is curling, snowboarding, figure skating, and sliding events such as like bobsledding, skeleton, that sort of thing. So far, curling is in the lead at 44%. This poll literally just went out. So it's early. It's fluid. But right now, curling's in the lead. Snowboarding is in second. And sliding events come in third. Figure skating, clearly male-dominated viewership here, coming in last place. But figure skating, actually, as a whole, is one of the most popular sports that people watch.
So are we talking when it's figure skating? You're talking about the competition and the aura with the actual movements on the ice.
Yeah, like ice
appearance.
dancing.
So ice dancing. So we're not talking about like speed skating.
No, although speed skating is electric.
So because for me, the two that I enjoy watching, speed skating, if we're going back in the days, Apollo Uno, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Dude was humming around the ice.
Oh, yeah. The short track speed skating in particular is my favorite.
Intense.
Yeah.
It's intense.
Yeah.
I would say that. I like that. I like, even though we had to watch it in right after the Super Bowl ended and we talked about that where it was very abrupt and we unfortunately saw Lindsey Vogn's crash, but watching those women go down that slope, like they were humming going 70 some miles an hour. It reminded me that I do love seeing the trial runs and the speed skiing. I think that's really fun. I never got fully into the figure skating side. Now I do appreciate the art of it,
Some of it's insane.
It's nuts. It's nuts. And there's a art to it.
Yeah.
And I really respect it. But if I was going to say that, I like the competition battling against somebody in the moment.
Yeah, and if it is figure skating for me, it's always like the doubles. Just somebody just chucking somebody else in the middle,
up in the air, like an Iron Lotus.
Yeah.
Zach, you know what I'm talking about, Zach?
Nope. But figure skating is electric.
Yeah.
Figure skating is, I don't even remember his name. I want to say it's like Ilian. That backflip. Are we kidding me?
Oh my God,
oh my! I was watching it live, and the entire time they're sitting there and they're talking, and they're like, "Yeah, these guys, all these guys are putting up incredible scores. It doesn't matter because this American is just going to go last." I'm like, there's a lot of pressure on this kid, and he goes out there and his first spin, or not going to use the correct word, but jump spin, he trips, and I'm like, damn. I was like, they hyped him up just to do this. Now I was like, that's over. They lost. All of a sudden, he's hitting I don't even know what you would more than 720s, 1440s in the air. And then you're sitting there and I'm like, he hits a backflip out of nowhere. And I'm like, give the guy all the medals for that. It's the first backflip landed in a professional setting in
I was gonna say, because Scott
decades.
Hamilton used to do it all the time.
Yeah.
Scott Hamilton, and I don't know if it was I think it was more Scott Hamilton did it, but I don't think he actually did it in competition. But he was known for, I think he was the first maybe to do a backflip.
Yeah, honestly, I'm trying to remember. There's no way if Zach would remember back to this one.
Do you know who Scott Hamilton is, Zach?
Yeah, because they're talking about it. I saw it only, could not point it, but because of the backflip. Yes.
But going back to with the figure skating, just the aura of it, and this is when you see moves like this from people,
it's unbelievable.
It's incredible. Do you remember that, Zach?
Do you remember
that's? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What is that? What's that from? What?
I know that's not from the Olympics.
It's not.
Isn't that Blades of Glory?
Yes.
I was gonna say.
So this is what Chaz Michaels is figure skating. Obviously, we haven't seen a move like this. The Iron Lotus, Zach. So don't sit here. You know what? I'm a little bit insulted when you just immediately go, I don't know what the Iron Lotus is. All right, Nate.
I had to get to my figure skating rant. The electricity behind it.
Are you getting to that rant or no?
No, I was just talking about that was the backflip. It's electric. I would say curling just because I love curling. I think it's just hysterical.
Yeah. Curling's awesome.
It is. You know what, Zach? It's homework time. I need a full reenactment of, not full reenactment, but there's gonna be 3 or 4 scenes I'm gonna need you to reenact from Blades of Glory, and we'll get the costume. One will be on the treadmill.
Yep.
All right. We'll have another one where you're trying to practice the Iron Lotus with Brad or maybe Kevin for this case because I'm a little bit smaller.
We'll use Kevin.
And then when you're trying to give advice on how to get a date. So I think like those scenes in that will reenact that. So just be prepared for that. But for curling, okay? For curling. Yeah, I mean, I think I have such an appreciation for how much they are just freaking humming on the brushes, dude. And
they're so accurate.
So one of my old managers in the minors, shout out PA, he sent me this. It's a video, I believe it's from the 70s. And I go, holy hell, I got to play this today because when we're talking about the aura of back in the day of curling, I hope this is true.
Out, rushing down for this final shot.
Yeah, I just saw that.
So I want to go back here for 1 second. Watch this dude right here who's doing this. He's just ripping a cig, just a heater.
That is incredible.
The Silver Broom, 1972. Look at this.
That's just like your pop-up fucking smoking ripping it in the dugout.
Just ripping a dart.
Yeah.
There's so much aura there, and I can't pronounce.
We need to bring back actual brooms.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Oh, the celebration. It's slick down there, you know?
Yeah.
But all
Kept
of
the
this,
heater in his mouth.
Yep. Didn't lose it.
smoking darts. What? See,
That's incredible.
this is why curling is special. There's the guy again. Oh, I love the form too.
And the mutton chops too.
You know, I feel like I could have fit in back then with the chops. When I have
1,000%.
just the effort.
This is incredible. I could watch this all day.
Oh, I could. And if you guys are listening on Apple and Spotify, you should check out the video here on YouTube for our live. It's magnificent.
Yeah.
And they say, oh, look at that. The precision, getting on all fours and getting that thing down the slope. It's not called the slope. What is it like down the
I don't remember.
But those are legit brooms too, by the way.
Yes,
Yeah, I hate that we've evolved from that. Now they got like Swiffer sweepers out there.
Yes.
It's just not as cool.
It's not the same. It's not the same
No,
at
it's not
all.
the same.
You know, and
I don't know how that happened. Where we lost the plot is unreal.
Yeah, we really need, honestly, we need this
That,
back.
Yes.
Like I know they're saying almost Fridays or however you want to have fun things. I know Friday Beers does that.
Yeah.
That's a vibe. I want that out there on the profiles of social media.
Shout out Friday Beers.
Shout out Friday Beers and shout out that. Look at that. The flick off, the dart.
Made friends with them.
World champions. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Good kids. Good kids.
Yeah. This is. I don't know how I say anything after all that, but I will say that like the sliding events are kind of my favorite.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild, especially like the skeleton just going head first. Pretty wild stuff. The bobsled teams though, like making it a team effort. Most of those people are riding them things blind.
How quick
So-
they're going on those things.
Yeah, the dudes are jacked, the chicks are jacked. I mean, just like from the waist down, all the muscle that it takes to push that thing, like just absolutely sculpted.
Oh yeah, they got a lot of trunk strength. You know, the opposite.
I was going to
of
say
Rocco
donk
December.
strength, but yeah.
Trunk donk. Hey, well, you might see a donk on Instagram later on. We were talking about it before. Check out that post on the Ryan Ripken Show Instagram page. You guys were helping me try to figure out a proper song, which there's a few other posts here, but I digress. I mean, look, Winter Olympics is going, and shout out Mike Tirico, by the way. We didn't say that as much last time.
What a dog.
Super Bowl ended, got on a flight, and was on air
13 hours later.
essentially when he landed. It's unbelievable.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Curling is still in first, by the way. 39 votes. We're going to keep that one up for a while.
I think the curling, it might win after seeing that heater, man.
Well, it's a dead heat between snowboarding and sliding events for second place.
I guess time will tell here.
Yeah.
Time will tell. Well, Time will tell in this next year if this is going to be the right move, a good move, great move, or, not so good for the Baltimore Orioles. Because, guys, the cavalry has arrived in Baltimore. And by cavalry, I just mean they signed a pitcher. The Orioles, apparently, according to reports, are in agreement on a 1-year, $18.5 million. Thank you, Brad. Thank you.
Sorry.
Dollar deal with Chris Bassett. And I know a lot of people, when you're going into the offseason and you're really excited because it was Helsley, then it was Alonso, you traded for Boz, traded for Taylor Ward. There's a lot of great things that happened this offseason, but some people right now are a little bit divided on how they feel about this specific signing, okay? So let's do with more of the why people are frustrated side first, because my job here and our job is to bring this whole thing together. So the frustrated part for fans would be, we're hearing that this money's available, go get the top guy. Well, the top guy that actually signed this contract to start this off was Dylan Cease, who I can argue he was not the top guy on the market, but he went for the top value, getting $30 million a year, 210 total in his contract.
Oh, yeah.
So that shifted this entire thing. And then you're looking at what the pieces would be following. So we were looking around and you're waiting, and it seemed like the Orioles and Ranger, or Ronher Suarez is how it's properly pronounced. It felt like there was a lot of discussions, felt close. And then all of a sudden, Alex Bregman signs with the Cubs. The Red Sox swoop in and flip Suarez from potentially being an Oriole to a Red Sox. 5 years, $130 million, which that's a fair value. That's less than Cease. So then people are really saying it's got to be Framber or Gallen. It's got to be one of the two. And Framber signs for a ridiculous amount. And if you're going to sit here and say, I can't believe the Orioles aren't giving out $38.5 million to Framber, if you have any doubts on a pitcher, any doubts on the field, off the field, the culture you're trying to build, and you're giving out records amount of money, then in this case, that'd be a record for Baltimore to give out $38.5 million for that year, and you're not sold on him, don't make that deal, because Trevor Rogers is a free agent next year. Tarek Skubal just had a arbitration hearing where it was $32 million. He won his case. He's the best pitcher right now with Paul Skeens.
Yeah.
And then if it's not that, people are more frustrated, Zach, of Freddie Peralta gets traded to the Mets. And people are saying, well, that could have been Freddie Peralta to the Orioles. But the Orioles decided they wanted Shane Baz over Mackenzie Gore, who trade package-wise was similar as far as younger prospects with upside. And the Mets getting Peralta, it was a rental, kind of more like the Corbin Burns situation. And the Mets still gave up some big pieces in this pie. So that's that type of frustrated side, Zach. And I hear that, and I know that fans wanted the big name. But how it played out after Ranger, I don't see how you can justify, for me personally, giving a pitcher you're not sold on over $30 million a year. And that's the part where I'm stuck on. So we can start with that part. Yeah, I mean, from a fan's perspective, Zach, and you and Brad can jump in on this.
Yeah.
The Chris Bassett sign for those fans in that corner feels you don't feel much, I guess I should say. Is that a fair thing to assess? Like you don't know how to fully feel about that because it's not something that you were hoping when this free agency kicked off.
Yeah, it's not at all what you were hoping for when free agency kicked off. You thought that the Orioles were going to get Framber Valdez, Ronher Suarez, just anyone. You thought that these guys were going to go out there and get an ace. And at the end of the day, I talked about last night, the Orioles didn't get plan A at pitcher. They didn't get plan B. They didn't get plan C, D, E, F. They went down the list, struck out. They couldn't get those guys. But I will say this signing, I would have a much different reaction to this signing if this happened in December. If the Orioles sat there with Ronher Suarez on the board, with Framber on the board, before Peralta was off the board, before Gore got traded, before Michael King signed back. If they would have settled for 36-year-old Chris Bassett over getting into a bidding war for those guys and took their hat out of the ring for that, then I would have an issue with it. They tried. They tried to get those guys. Whether you want to say they didn't want to be here, whether the offers weren't great. Yeah, there was a lot of prospects changed hands in the Peralta, in the Gore deal, obviously, and after you traded for Boz, you weren't going to do that again. So I understand frustration that it's not Ranger, that it's not Framber, and I get that. But they couldn't sign them anymore. They picked their teams, and the Orioles, in my opinion, got the next best guy. They got a 36-year-old who's had a single season since 2018 where his ERA has been over 4. They got a guy that can give you consistently 170 to 180 innings. They got a guy who, in the World Series last year, pitched to an under 1.3 ERA. I mean, this guy was trusted in some of the biggest moments of – he was thrown in there at Game 7 of the World Series against the Dodgers. If you don't trust a guy like that, then you don't put him in that situation. Everything we've heard, he's an incredible clubhouse guy, an incredible leader. Pete Alonso even talked about today about how he holds guys accountable and he's the perfect fit for this rotation. Oh, and by the way, he's also pretty damn good. Yes, this isn't a 27-year-old ace that you signed for 10 years, but if you look at everything, you look at what was out there, I mean, we can pull up the graphic in a moment. This year's rotation on opening day compared to last year's is laughable. Like, I don't know if I blocked out of my brain what went down at the beginning of last year, but that, looking back and seeing how things went, it's like, no wonder the season started off so poorly. Like, because of all the injuries, because of the, everyone going down. I mean, immediately Rogers was starting with an injury. Bradish obviously was coming back. Wells coming back from injury. You had Grayson dealing with stuff. Like, from where they were last year to where they are this year, if you don't think that this team, I'm going to say it right now, this is the best rotation the Orioles have had in I'm not sure how long, but it's damn close to over 10 years. I am very confident in saying over the 10 years because, yeah, you can point to 24 when they were supposed to have Bradish. They were supposed to have, Corbin. Grayson was supposed to step up, but they didn't. At the baseline, this is the best 1 through 6 now we can say that this team has had in probably 10 years. And for this young core, we keep talking about they need to step up. Yeah, but when they step up, you also need to have other guys that are going to get the job done because you can't have the young guys step up, do what we know they can do, and then others let them down. You cannot say, we'd say this after every move. Can you sit down and ask yourself, did the Baltimore Orioles get better today? And the answer has been yes.
So before I go full dive into this, on my perspective, Brad, I wanted to get your thoughts on all of this.
The only thing that I'm going to do is play devil's advocate, and I'll say this. Going into this offseason, Elias said multiple times that their priority was getting a big bat and getting a frontline starter. Succeeded at one of those. Did not succeed at the other. My thing, and I hear you, Zach, as far as rotation strength, but I would argue that the Corbin Burns, era, that was probably stronger than this one. And the only reason I say that is because a lot of this is unproven. There's a lot of asterisks. You have Kyle Bradish coming off of injury, which maybe he continues to go back to ace form. And if he does, fantastic. Trevor Rogers, if he picks up where he left off last year, also fantastic. These are a lot of ifs, though. My thing is like there's a lot of uncertainty here. There's no bona fide ace because we don't know what we're going to get with any of these guys coming off of injury. So for me, it's like if they all do well, great. Maybe this does end up being the best rotation, but we don't know. There's not a lot of certainty here, in my opinion, when I look at this lineup. The other thing is that the inevitable thing will happen. One of these guys is going to get injured, and then as the season goes on, so there's going to be even more uncertainty that arises with that. So, looking at this, I think that this is going to be a better rotation than it was last year, no doubt. That being said, I think that this is going to be great for the regular season. Getting in the postseason is going to be a different story with this rotation, in my opinion. A lot of that can change. We haven't even started the season yet, but when I look at this at face value and just looking at it on paper, I have concerns still about what could be going on come August in the dog days of summer for the O's, especially given the competition that we have in the AL East at this point.
Mm-hmm. And I think next week, or maybe it's tomorrow, we'll do a ranking around like just giving there's so much time until the opening day. So we'll kind of rank where the Orioles, in my opinion, where they rank up for their starting rotation compared to the American League East and even the rest of MLB, because I think that'd be a fun exercise to really deep dive into all of it. But to start with this, do you always feel better if you have a guy that you go, damn, you're getting the ball every fifth day, you feel damn good about it, you are established that you are going to take over if you're healthy? And so Corbin Burns, he was that in 2023.
Yeah.
The only pitcher that was moved this offseason that had that ability, and when I say moved, say traded, that was Freddie Peralta, right? So there's Freddie, and then Framber is the only one that was out there that proved over time that, all right, reliable, get the ball every fifth day, whammy. There's two. I am a big Ronher Suarez fan, but of those guys, he has done extremely well. But he was maybe a little bit below those two pitchers as far as value in my case. And that's actually how the deals went. Suarez got $130 million, averaging $26 million a year. And Framber got $38.5 million for 3 years. Zach Gallen, I like the upside. I think that the value of whoever's going to pay him, I'm really curious what it's going to be because that's unpredictable. Dylan Cease, high stuff guy. Unpredictable outcome. He could go out there and shove and be a top of the line rotation guy, or he could be what he was last year, which was a very inconsistent starting pitcher. So you got to look at it in that case. But to your point, Zach, let's pull up the graphic right now because the biggest thing I said going into the spring training
is, did they do enough? Because
the biggest thing right now at this point in time, the Orioles rotation comparison from opening day last year to this year. Now, Grayson Rodriguez went down in camp, and so did Trevor Rogers. But when you look at that list, that was the opening day starters. With this, seeing Rogers, Bradish, Boz, Eflin, Kramer, Bassett, that's 6 right now. And then knowing emergency, you have Tyler Wells, you have Povich, you have saying Suarez or whatnot, right? So, like in this case, I love the fact now that Wells can prepare to be a bullpen guy in my mind.
Yes.
But emergency, if you got to break the glass, I'm glad he's the 7th or 8th option here and not the 6th or 7th. So when we're looking at depth, mission accomplished here. And
for sure.
And so for Chris Bassett, because we like to give you insights and hopefully join us next week to talk about it because I got a lot of sources that I go around to, and I have my own opinions. I'll tell you that in just a second. But here was one guy that I think Birdland would really value his opinion, and he'll tell you this next week. But, and I quote, this was a phone call I got today. You're going to love Chris Bassett. He's a gamer, and he's got a big set of balls on him. He is what this pitching staff needs from an accountability standpoint and from a gamer standpoint. And I said, I love hearing the character side of that because you know what the Orioles need? They need that type of dog mentality, a guy that's respected in a clubhouse, and then a guy that is not going to be wavering in big moments. Zach, you just mentioned in the previous comments or when you spoke about Chris Bassett. If you look at his numbers, last 4 seasons, minimum is 170 innings per year. You need that. You know who's only done that for the Orioles over the last X amount of years or pitched deeper has been Dean Kramer.
Yeah, I was just about to say. Dean.
That's it. So right there, that's a plus. And Chris Bassett right now, if you're going to look back to his last year, and I keep bringing this up, ERAs, I know people don't want to look at it going, oh, it's year to year. It doesn't matter. I don't care as much about what all the other analytics are and how Chris Bassett's playing. I'm going to go with what I've seen on the field. and I'm going to go with what his final numbers have been. Since 2021, he's had one season with an ERA over 4. Actually, I lied. You have to go back to, no, even before that, Zach. You got to go back to 2016. He's only had one season since 2016 where he's had an ERA above 4.16. That's number one. Number two, he started a minimum of 30 games the last 4 seasons. Oh, and then, by the way, the innings that I've talked about, last 4 years, here's his innings pitched. 181, 200, 171, 170. And last year, his ERA was a 3.96. And I think in this perception in this day and age, where even though pitching's supposed to dominate, ERAs aren't what people think that they are anymore. There's only one pitcher that had an ERA below 2 last year. It's Paul Skeens and Trevor Rogers, but not qualified. So we'll play a quick game, Zach. You already probably have an idea of this, but last year, qualified pitchers, where would Chris Bassett's ERA have ranked of all qualified pitchers last year?
I'm going to say 23.
Close. You went a little bit higher because you know it puts him at 29th. Top 30. So the Orioles, at the end of all this, got a pitcher, qualified pitcher, so he lasted and had the requirements to qualify because he pitched so much. He had a top 30 ERA and started over 30 games. So when we're looking at consistency as a ball club, look, it's not that big name that you wanted. It's not. And I'm with you, Brad, and I've said this on air. The Orioles, with what they had before this mood, had enough to make a run and contend and do their thing and go and win the AL East. But to go win a World Series, bring a championship back to Baltimore, yeah, they're going to have to be more aggressive when the time comes. They're going to have to. Now, what could happen in this time? Boz could emerge, Rogers could continue to go, and Bradish could be humming.
Yep.
But it doesn't change the fact that you're going to have to be willing to push the chips in when the time comes, because injuries will mount up. People will overperform, and while people overperform, some will underperform. When the moment comes, will you make the move that you have to? But for right now, $18.5 million for a pitcher that averages an ERA under 4, 170 innings plus a year, and has a huge set of cojones on him, yeah, sign me up for that shit, man. And by the way, you just saw him pitch for your division rival, the Blue Jays, who obviously valued them, and he helped them continue on as they were so close to winning a World Series. So that is my whole thought on it. At the end of the day, too, no one cares anymore now. Like, I want to flip the switch on this. You can be frustrated, you can be pissed off how you feel. No one cares now when you're there.
Yeah. Best case scenario, they all come back to form like they were, at their peaks. Like we say, Kyle Bradish, for example, he comes back to Cy Young form. Trevor Rogers goes back to where he picks up where he left off last year. Shane Baz is the old Shane Baz, and Chris Bassett does his thing. It could be the best rotation in baseball. It's just a big if right now.
Yeah, and also here's the thing. Bassett's skill set, he's got like 8 pitches, by the way. It's different variations of fastball, slider, sweeper, throws a changeup very, very minimally, got a big breaker. His design in some cases to me is almost like Zach Eflin, but he has better numbers than Zach Eflin. And what I mean by that is he's not going to bump it up to 98, but he knows how to pitch. And he calls his pitches. He knows what he wants to do. And I think that conviction from guys is ultimately going to help a young staff on top of it. You're talking about having a veteran in this group. He fits the mold. So, and also the Pete Alonso's given a big stamp of approval. Our guest that we'll have on next week spent a lot of time with Chris Bassett. He's got a stamp of approval. There's a lot of good things here. But Zach, this is when I just said before that no one cares what happens. When spring hits, whoever's there is who you got. All this outside noise ain't going to matter, because the Blue Jays last year had all the issues in the world. Thought John Schneider was going to get canned, potentially, because they underperformed, and yet they were the best team in the American League last year.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
In your professional opinion, is this a 5-man rotation or 6?
You have options now. And I think if you're trying to play it safe with some, you can go 6. I still personally don't love the concept of a 6-man rotation. I don't love it. But
Why don't you love it?
I just think with consistency of how guys have pitched and what they've done, certain guys want to be on a routine constantly. So, like, let's go back to 2020.
It's like almost like too much time passes before you get back on the mound.
Yeah, let's go back to 2024 because with Corbin Burns, they made sure for Corbin, hey, you want to pitch every 5th day? They would move other players to make sure Corbin stayed on track.
Yeah.
So I am okay with a 6-man rotation so long as the players that have to pitch feel that they can be healthy and they're staying in their rhythm. So I don't want the guys that feel comfortable to feel like they got to jump out of that. And this might sound crazy to some, but it is true. Pitchers, players are creatures of habit. You want to stay in a routine. So imagine this 6-man rotation, that's 6 days for the week. There's going to be off days thrown out there that are going to throw off that schedule. Some of these guys might not throw for 7, 8 days. Rainouts, off days, whatever it may be.
Right.
Too much time isn't good. And throwing a bullpen is not simulating the same thing of pitching in a game. So that's my only hesitation. I know, Zach, I saw you put the fingers up there. They have the numbers to do it. And if you're trying to manage some of your guys, I'm here for it. I get it. But that is my one. I'll put my hand up. And the pitchers have to be honest with it. Do they feel that they can get the same results and stay in rhythm with going to a 6-man rotation?
I personally, I think with the number of question marks that we continue to talk about with this rotation, especially from a health standpoint, guys working back, things like that. I think and this is the thing, I think you start with the 6-man. You won't go 6 men the whole time because, let's be honest, there's going to be someone that gets hurt, whether it's for a week, a few days, a month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever it is, somebody's going to get hurt. And I think right now, if you got the horses, use them. The whole point of why you went out and got another guy is because of, we've said it before, depth. And now if it comes down to who do you move to the bullpen? Are you moving Eflin to the bullpen, which probably makes the most sense, but how does he go and, respond to that? I just think to start the season, while you're easing everyone into it, you obviously have injury concerns. We talk about guys like Kyle Bradish. Yeah, all the talent in the world, he's got to raise his innings. And I think that helps lessen that burden early on in the season. So to start the season, I have absolutely no problem having a 6-man rotation, especially because I don't really see this team as, they don't have that guy, the Tarek Skubal where you're like, oh, if he doesn't pitch X amount of times, 31 times, 32 times, we're hurting ourselves by maybe losing an extra game or two. I think they have a very solid rotation. Obviously, guys like Bradish and Rogers have this insanely high upside. I think Boz as well. But I think to start off, easing everyone in, it's a long season. We got a marathon, keeping guys as healthy as possible. Now, if they physically can't on 6 days and every 6 day guys are getting the ball and they're getting lit up because it's off routine, then you have to adjust. But it's one of those things with everything that is surrounding this rotation, health-wise, kind of trying to ease back into it, the question marks. I think go the safe route. If it doesn't work with the 6-man after a while, you move to a 5, but just keep people healthy.
Yeah, I mean, overall in this thing, it's about health. It's about keeping your guys feeling fresh. But with everything, you go to spring training to get into a routine, and then you build up and you build up. And then once you get to the season, you need to have a plan, and you need to then execute that plan, and you need to try to stay on course with that plan as much as possible. I do see some comments about World Baseball Classic with Dean Kramer. Do you feel like you got to load manage him? Do you want to try to protect Kyle Bradish a little bit more, that he finished strong? But I think the reins should be off for Bradish. You should just be on your normal pitch count with him as he's built up. So it will be curious just to see how this all unfolds. And Brad, I'm glad you brought the question up, because I'm not saying that there's one right answer or wrong answer. It's not that case. But the biggest part is just making sure and understanding what is the right thing for guys to stay on the field. Like a couple things I've heard from some pitchers throughout time. Some like to throw a bullpen in between and make sure that their arm's feeling good. I've heard others say, I don't want to throw a bullpen really. I'll get my flat work. So for those that don't know flat work, you just go outside, go out to the field, and you work on something from maybe it's 60 feet away and just play catch essentially, but work on things. And that's your more intensified work. You need to find what works for you, because one thing that has been a problem is the injuries across baseball have been extremely high for pitchers, but the Orioles specifically have had a very tough time with their pitchers staying on the field. That's no secret. That's just a fact. So how do you put them in a position to go out there and succeed? And above all, the thing that no one's really talking about, maybe some comments were mentioned in the chat here, you need to protect your bullpen at all costs. And the number one priority in my mind actually is making sure you don't mismanage your bullpen, and mismanage your bullpen early. If you go throughout the year, and if you go to any manager that talks about the grind of a season, they'll say, I will know if I did something right with my bullpen depending on how things go down the stretch. And if you pull your starters early in the game when they don't need to be pulled, and your bullpen then has to come in and work harder, it's going to catch up. The best teams in baseball, why are ace pitchers, or why are pitchers that eat innings so important? They protect the rest of your staff. This whole notion for me, what always pisses me off in baseball, sorry, here's my little Ryan rant for the day. I hate the shit of going, well, a third time through the order could be a problem, so let's take the guys out because we don't want them to face it. No. If they're shoving, they go back out. If their pitch count is down, they go back out. They should. Or if you're getting beat up and you're down 6, but your pitcher's only at 50 pitches, he needs to wear it and try to keep you guys as close, because why? When you go to your bullpen, it's going to tax the group. And it wears on them. And I still go back to this. And I know the Orioles was a fun year in 2023. It still hurts me watching Felix Bautista coming in to get 5-6 out saves. And not just late in the year before he got hurt. I'm talking about early season, middle of the season, going, damn, Felix as your closer should not be getting up twice. And not just going out to the pen and getting his work in to come in, then he's going to pitch, sitting down, going back out, and then sitting down to rest. I don't like it. That's how you protect it. And I think that is something for Craig Albarnez and the staff. That is going to be the biggest focus for me. So whether that's a 5 or 6 man rotation, keeps those other guys healthy, I'm cool with it. But it is easier to, now with the Orioles having this depth, the biggest thing to take away from this, it is easier to preserve a bullpen and even go out and get bullpen pieces if you get in trouble. That is one thing. But if you don't have the depth to have starters push to go deeper, then you're going to find yourself in this cycle that's just going to absolutely screw you in the long run. And that is why teams look for bullpen help when they can. That's why teams look for starting help when they can, because everything else falls apart. And ironically, the weakness in the armor last year for the Orioles is the starting pitching. It got exposed early. And what else got exposed? Your bullpen, and it was game over from the start. So
here's the other silver lining in all this. You want to talk about depth. There's a little bit too much depth at first base, meaning that like there's potential trade chips come to the deadline with the likes of Kobe Mayo and Mountcastle and who knows who else. I mean, we don't know what the position players are going to look like, especially with Westberg questionable with the Obi injury, and maybe you put Mayo over at third base for a bit. Like, But at the end of the day, there's too many guys that are designated for first place or first base when you have a the polar bear that plays on average 155 games a year.
Mhm.
So I think, in my opinion, it could be a situation in that, hey, like, we didn't get the guy that we wanted, but we have chips on the table that we could potentially use later on in the year if we so need to. Let's just say if somebody goes down in the rotation or they want to add an ace like starter to get them across the finish line and win a goddamn playoff game.
Yeah, the playoff, it all comes down to winning the playoffs, right? Trying to win there.
Especially this club, because
Mhm.
I showed a stat in our little group chat that everyone in the AL East has played the Dodgers. I think in the last 10 years
In the World Series?
in the World Series,
Yeah.
except for the O's.
Well, it's good for the Dodgers and for every other team to break through.
To actually have a chance.
I think that, so the Dodgers
Since 2020, I
So
think.
the Dodgers won. They lost to the Red Sox, and they won the ones against the Yankees and the Blue Jays
And the Rays.
and the Rays. Yeah. So really, essentially, what we're hearing is that if the Dodgers play an AL East team in the World Series, they typically win. Except
But
one
if the
year.
O's win against the Dodgers,
Then the Dodgers.
Someone's got to.
Someone's got to do it.
someone's got to do it.
The Red Sox did do it before the Monstars. I think that was that 2018, maybe. I'd like
Yes.
to say.
Yep. 2018.
So, well, so anyway, to this conversation, Zach, we kind of touched on it a little bit in the past. It might have even been yesterday. I don't have an answer for what they're going to exactly do, because to me, I don't think that they want to say, hey, Kobe, we're going to put you at third, even with Jordan Westberg out. They said they want him to play first. Ryan Mountcastle, they haven't said about him going to the outfield. You can argue Mounty's your best defensive first baseman, so he's going to stay there. But the problem, Zach, is I think the rest of Major League Baseball is aware of the Orioles situation.
Yeah.
And they are going to try to buy low. They're not going to give in just to give in, and in some cases, the Orioles, not knocking on wood, you don't want any bad injuries. I don't want that at all. But in some cases, the only way it feels like it makes sense is if someone got hurt, and now that opens up a spot for them to play more consistently, and you have the depth for it. But for a value piece, I want to get that out there. I don't think the Orioles have the value as high as they want. Certainly not for Mounty. And for Kobe, I think teams are not going to push that envelope there and offer this perception that some team's going to give an ace pitcher for any of the Orioles first baseman right now. I think that's a really far-fetched thought. Like it's not going to happen. So I want to erase that. But Zach, like that is the issue here. You have three right-handed hitting corner guys, specifically first baseman DHs.
Yeah, and like the conversation comes up of like, yeah, we'll trade them for pitching. Like, okay, the Orioles need pitching. Yeah, so does every other effing team in the league. Like so the value there, like pitching, unfortunately, is a lot more valuable, especially if you're talking about, I've seen people, and I've even mentioned about, hey, do you put a package together for a late inning reliever? Before the Bassett, it was, okay, do you get another starter? A first baseman, right-handed power hitting first baseman, in a lot of ways, come a dime a dozen. Like that is kind of the mold there. It's either a power hitting lefty or a power hitting righty. If you have a good piece in the bullpen, young piece in the rotation, it's going to take a lot more to get someone there, because you can teach guys to play first. Not easy, but we see so many times guys being like, oh, well, there's nowhere else to put him. Let's see if he can play first. Let's DH him. So I agree, Ryan. Like the notion that, oh, if they can just give up Mayo, they'll get a star relief pitcher. They'll get a star starting pitcher. That's not the case because like you said, people know the Orioles situation. They're not just going to give up. The Orioles aren't just going to give up Mayo or give up Mounty just to give them up. And another team's not just going to go, oh, okay, we'll take them at the value that they were at their highest. they know that the Orioles have to make a decision. So they're not going to give up the best assets they have when they know they wait. It probably doesn't come down to that. So the Orioles are in a not so great position with that because you're at a log jam at a position that it feels like a lot of teams. I mean, there are teams here and there, but a lot of teams have log jams at first because it's a lot of versatility there. Can you have that first baseman, that third baseman, move him over to first, that left fielder, move him over to first. We see so many guys as they go later in their career get moved over to first that, okay, a young first baseman's nice. The bat is really nice when you talk about the upside of Mayo and Mountcastle. But like you said, Ryan, I don't see a team seeing Kobe Mayo or Ryan Mountcastle and saying, we'll give you one of our top bullpen guys. We'll give you this starting rotation piece because we need a power hitting first baseman that bad.
Yeah, and also, too, at this point, no team is going to want to give up any of their pieces that they're slotting into their roster right now. Any of those moves would have or should have been earlier on, unless an injury happens. And then the demand's there where you are in a pinch. Well, then guess what? A team can call the Orioles and they can try to find something that makes sense. But for now, Polar Bear Pete needs to play. He's got to play. You got to figure out what you're going to do with the two catchers and Adley and Samuel. Hopefully Westy's ready to rock and roll. It sounds like he will. And Blaze Alexander is probably going to be counted upon to play a little bit more second base when this whole thing gets started. So, yeah, time will tell. That's the issue here. And that's one of just the many storylines. But on a fun note here, guys, like it's things are good. We're good. It's spring. We're happy. I mean, I'm happy. I mean, we had a
Not
great
spring yet.
Okay, well, not outside like physically or like by the calendar, but football's over now. Even though
the sun is setting later.
How about that? See, it's raising up. It's raising up. Did we want to touch on anything from with the video I saw you had in there, or we
answered all the questions that it was?
Yeah, because we do that.
Yeah.
We do that here.
It was just asking if this is it for the Orioles. We kind of went over the holes and everything.
Can we pull up Zach? Can you go get that video of Alonso going deep
on Bradish or on Wellesley?
Oh yeah, let's get that one.
Yeah,
I loved your caption on it.
Hey, he's just helping a teammate out, giving up the business. You got that, Zach, rolling up?
Yeah, I'm getting it.
And while you're fixing that, we'll go from one stream to this stream right here. Oh, wrong one. There it is. Look at that beautiful face. From the live stream to Auto Stream Car Care Center, guys, we appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you. And if you are having some car issues in this area, whether it's just for maintenance, your car was just frozen from the weather that we've had, or anything in between, you go to Auto Stream Car Care Center. You get $50 off for just mentioning Ryan Ripken, and that is on any offer or service that you're looking for. 10 locations throughout Maryland. Appreciate Auto Stream Car Care Center. Now from that stream, let's head on back to this stream. Hey, how you doing? Do we have that video of Polar Bear Pete?
Yep.
Let's play it. So you can hear
play that again.
Yeah. Let's see if you can hear it properly.
Yeah. Dang it.
So you hear like, oh my God, or something like that. And that's Pete Alonso going big ball off of Tyler Wells. And buddy, Wells, I am proud of you, man. Thanks for getting the new acquisition, feeling good early, getting the confidence up for him.
Just throwing him a beach ball.
Hey, attaboy, It looked like an elevated heater, and that ball got elevated out of the ballpark. So that was beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. But that's what Polar Bear Pete is going to do, or at least that's what Oriole fans are hoping. He's only averaged 40 jacks, I think, a year over the last X amount of years he's been in the big league. So this will be nice. But you know what? It's relaxing. It's good. A lot of good things coming our way here. And not just from that the season started. We're going to have a lot of coverage. And we are still going to have some great football guests, which you might have a couple more in the works. We're going to have some great baseball guests. We're going to continue this on throughout 2026. So we appreciate all of you, and we especially appreciate our channel members. From the beginning, you guys have been the backbone here on YouTube. So if you want to be a channel member, click that join button and become a channel member. Become a good kid, or hell, better yet, become a better kid and be a part of this as we continue to grow the Ryan Ripken Show and Ryan Ripken Media. So thank you, guys. That was a cool sights and sounds. There was another sights and sounds in the baseball world that had people scratching their head a little bit, Zach. It was the White Sox GM. I think that's that one again. But Getz, Chris Getz, White Sox GM, he acquired Luis Angel Acuna earlier on this offseason.
Yeah, and the Robert deal.
In the Luis Robert deal. That is correct. So Spark notes this. He's been going on apparently a lot of other podcast shows since that trade, and was talking about how he really believes Acuna is going to be great, and kept referring to him as a switch hitter. Well, then, Zach, it turns out Acuna is indeed, in fact, not a switch hitter.
No. And all respect to Acuna, but dude struggles hitting from the right side, so we should focus on that before we're even. I saw someone say maybe he's saying switch hitter because he's switching to a good hitter. He's not a switch hitter. Never has been. So listen, and then obviously, as you see, Getz makes his statement saying, so I probably have been getting carried away describing his versatility. He can play every position on the field. Why does it have to stop there? I called Luis Angel and told him that even though he's just right-handed, we still love him. I'm going to say this. One time's a slip-up. 4 times on 4 different shows. I think Chris Getz genuinely thought Luis Angel Acuna was a switch hitter. And that's what I've seen a lot of people talk about. GMs get crapped on a lot for things that you're like, okay, that was a mistake. That's okay. We all make mistakes and everything. This is one of those where you're like, hey, if the star player you're getting back, like when he made the trade to send Robert to the Mets and got Acuna back, did he think he was getting a switch hitter? Was that part of the reason he wanted a
in there? Where was the report coming in of, love the value here?
Did a scout accidentally check switch hitter on something? They've just been going off that report. Did they not watch things and they were like, we've yet to see an at bat from the left side. Did that not pop up? 4 times across, I think it's a 2-week period where he referred to him as a switch hitter. Not great. And good on Getz for joking around, being like, maybe I got a little too ahead of myself. That was fun.
Yeah, and he said, even though he's right-handed, we still love him.
Love him.
And I am curious on a scouting report or how it was. Did it just go about and the reason why what I'm about to say is in the minors, some of the reports, and they have made guys into switch hitters who were not switch hitters at all. They're like, hey, you know what? Be curious if he's capable of doing that. One of my teammates, Blake Perkins, on the Brewers, he was drafted as a right-handed hitter, and then the Nationals, after the first half season, were like, hey, let's work on you being a switch hitter, because in the reports it was the ability and what he could be if he learned how to switch hit. But so I'm wondering, was that in a report? And you're like, I wonder if he could.
Yeah.
Should we try this? But now it's, yep, he's a great switch hitter. It's great. A lot of upside. Something got
not
lost.
Even Ronald. Ronald's not even a switch hitter. It would make sort of sense if maybe Ronald was a switch hitter. You're like, oh, his brother, he's a switch hitter. Luis Angel, I will say though, hell of a fielder. Dude, he nailed it about the versatility. He plays every position but catcher at probably first too. And he's damn good. But Doesn't switch it. Unfortunately, he does not switch it. I saw a lot of people like they're going to force him to switch hit now just so that they don't seem stupid. There's like, dude, you have to go out there as a lefty a few times, and then we're going to say that it didn't work and that this was part of the plan. So maybe they just should have done that in spring training, been like Luis Angel, hey, we need you to go up as a lefty like 2 or 3 times just so we don't look stupid. Like, you got to save us here, dude.
Yep. Just go up there and bunt left-handed, and that'll be fine.
Just a few times. He would probably get on base a lot.
He probably would. Well, even though that had some interpretation lost in the translation, nothing's lost in this translation as far as MLB news. Nick Castellanos is officially released by the Philadelphia Phillies.
Yep.
He was told a couple days ago to not report, and now his time as a Philadelphia Philly is done. And I saw a lot of reports that were going out there. Clearly there was a lot of tension brewing. That's why it's at this point of, is he going to be an everyday guy anymore? Is he going to platoon? But last year there was friction on being taken out of a game and then being benched the next, because apparently when he got benched, he went and cracked a brew. Whatever.
He didn't drink it. He specified. He said he never drank that beer. Yes, he brought the beer to the dugout, but he says he never drank it. So
who cares?
At this point,
did you see his note?
No.
He wrote like a 4-page thank you to Philly, handwritten on like loose leaf paper that you used. Here, I'll find it.
It's handwritten.
Perfect. Well, yeah. If you can find it, that's fine. That's cool. I was gonna say there's even bigger baseball news that we haven't even
touched
or even discussed that I discovered while you guys were chatting away.
Yeah, please.
Have you seen this with the Twins? What the Twins are doing pregame for their fans?
No.
Let me just show you something.
I'm kind of excited, but a little bit scared. Oh,
so they're doing like a happy hour type of deal before games. So $2 pregame beers every game for my Twins and reserve members. For all fans on Fridays and Saturdays, $2 pregame beers. This is some pretty incredible stuff.
They
right
do
there.
this everywhere.
So $2 pregame beers for all fans on the week, Fridays and Saturdays.
Yeah.
Happy hour featuring $2 beers, $2 hot dogs, $2 snacks, and live music from a band or DJ. Free ice cream for the kids under 12 on Sundays.
You kidding me?
And returning favorites, Twins value menu items under $6 every game. You know what? $1 hot dogs. Oh, my gosh, Zach, how many $1 hot dogs could you eat at one time?
I would put down so many. If they are like actual, because that's the thing, like with the $1 dogs, sometimes they like really skimp out and it's like a cheap ass hot dog. But like if it's an actual ballpark dog still, I could. I mean, 999 challenge would be a breeze.
Oh, yeah. Officially on. But like $2 pregame beers?
It's fantastic.
I mean,
That's what it should be.
To the yard, you're spending at least, I think, what, eight or nine.
No, you could have 10 beers for $20 total. You want to have a party? You want to go hit the clubs? No, I'm just going to go hit a Twins game.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, that's your happy hour. You don't want to go to the bar. You want to go to the game for happy hour.
There you go. You can get home, go home at a reasonable hour. Don't have to be out late to get that type of action.
Hell yeah.
Maybe.
Is that not incredible news for baseball right now?
That's why it should be everywhere.
Yeah, should be.
I mean, here's the thing. For the Twins, I think it's great, especially they're going through a lot of changes right now. You know, they sold a lot of their estate, it seemed like, meaning their roster last year. They still have a couple pieces, but the expectation isn't going to be as high. And so when the expectation for the team is not going to be as high, how do you attract more people to come to the game? Colorado's done a great job of that. They've been absolutely terrible over the years.
Still selling out games.
They still sell out games. It's a beautiful ballpark. It's a great place to go. And imagine when they are good again. They got a good system in place. So for the Twins, good for them. Good for them. At the end of the day, in the sports world now, with everything being streamed and the accessibility to watch, some people don't want to go to as many games in person anymore. And I understand. Like, the prices especially with a family or if you're going with some buddies, the prices can add up. They can. But with those prices, you kidding me?
Bro.
Maybe we have to go
in
try
this
the
economy.
Should we try the 9-9? Oh, we can go see Derek Sheldon in Minnesota and try the challenge.
Yeah.
Zach can have 9 hot dogs at one time.
I'm
and
telling
then 9
you.
beers.
I'm here for it.
I could easily. Well, that's the thing. If I had to do 9 hot dogs in like 2 innings, that would be the easy part. It's the drinking the beer that's the part that, like, when you, because that's the other thing. I hate when people do the 999 challenge. They're like, finished it in the 5th inning. That's not the point. It's supposed to be a marathon. Yeah. Like, you have to, like, wait. Like, that part of what makes it hard is suddenly you're like, it's not like, oh, let me just get it all it's done as fast as possible and not think about it. Right. By the 7th and 8th inning, you need to be very much in the trenches. You have to be like, this has been an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes of just dog beer, just over and over. It can't. I hate when, like, JJ Watt said he was finished by like the 4th inning. It's not a 999 challenge.
No.
Just disgrace.
You can't do that. Can't do that. But that's bravo for the Twinkies, man.
Yeah.
Bravo for the Twinkies. Yeah, that's great. That's majestic. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, as we're getting close to wrapping up, because we hit a good quota, and look, we're not gonna go crazy. And I know some people probably like to see us go crazy and do something dumb, which we might in the future.
It would be par for the course.
Yeah, and we still got to figure out the whole 24-hour streaming situation. Now, that's definitely going to take place here before opening day. You know, get that out of the way. It's like welcome back to baseball season. But I don't know how we're fully doing that yet. But we will do it.
Me and Kevin, I'm excited. I got some ideas already. It's going to be a mixed bag of everything. There's going to be challenges. There's going to be we also have to be entertained for 24 hours. Like, we're not just sitting on a stream staring at the stream for 24 hours. We're going to have challenges. I'm going to have it set up.
I'm really intrigued by some of these ideas.
Yeah.
A little terrified at the same time.
You should be.
And how things are for me, we'll see where I'm fitting into all these 24 hours. You know, I don't know if I can do the full 24, Zach.
No.
It's going to be a little
challenging.
challenging.
I don't think I think Kevin and I are going to be in there for 24 hours, and you guys come and go as you please. But I think Kevin and I are going to hunker down, and then he'll probably have to record something at some random time. Yeah.
That would be insane.
I've accepted something's going to break while we're in the 24-hour stream.
Oh, no doubt. What if we bring on, I was going to say, hey, maybe Nick Moore will join us, but you know what? We got a better chance of getting John Harbaugh on again for another day. and
yes.
And everyone else. And who knows?
Especially getting him in the studio. You know, it's been 2 years since Nick Moore has.
I don't think Nick knows how to get here.
He might forget.
No. It's
apparently he's won $30 million. You know, he's so full of shit.
I know. He said 22 million.
I didn't get a single Venmo.
Because it wasn't real, Zach.
Yeah, he could have put. You know what? He could have been a homie.
You're going to listen to the guy that can honestly come up here every time and claim that the SEC is still the best thing, and then not know that Fernando Mendoza won the championship, is going to be the number 1 overall pick. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you right now, when a guy just casually tosses out there and says he won $22 million, I'm shooting my shot for $10K. If he was lying or not, if he wants to prove me wrong and put $10K in my account, I would have told him he was right the whole time.
Oh, gosh. He's a good kid. We got some ideas here. No one wants Rocco for 24 hours, Joe. That's a terrible decision. Wasabi.
We should just have Rocco on the outside of the studio, and he spends 24 hours trying to break into the 24-hour stream.
Put a camera on him trying to get in.
Yeah.
That'd be good. And hey, you know what? I feel like Ollie's got to be a part of the process here, and I appreciate the ask there. I do. But I got to tell you, there's a lot of things we're trying to figure out here before March 1. Can't talk about it right now. But we will figure it all out, I promise. I usually am the problem, but right now I am not fully the problem, but I'm waiting for problems to be resolved.
He's
Maybe not even
potentially the problem.
Yeah, I am potentially the problem.
We're waiting to see if Ryan is the problem.
That's a better way to put it.
Yeah.
That's a better way to put it. Cool. And it may, oh gosh, what if you were you? Well, I saw in Joe's last comment of Bali places one bet every hour. That would be.
I could. Oh, and I would find things to bet on every hour. I would do it.
I do not doubt that for a second.
Yeah, we can.
Very, very interesting.
If you want to come sweat Korean basketball with me and Kevin at 4 a.m., be my guest. Come be my guest. We will.
That would be
women's Korean basketball.
Yeah,
that'd be a great.
Maybe some with frisbee golf.
Yeah.
You like go to ESPN
say,
the Ocho and bet on whatever's on there.
Yeah, if you ever want to see just a massive difference in production, go to Korean basketball, then to Australian basketball, and it like looks like and I get the Korean games are like very much. I think it's not even on a network that you watch it. It looks like it's filmed on a flip phone, and then you can barely see players. You just kind of like it's all blurry. The Australian Basketball League I felt like I was in the arena. I was like, this production level is unbelievable. I'll bet on cornhole. Easy.
Cornhole, baby. Corn dogs. So we should get some cornhole. Ryan Ripken show cornhole right up in here.
Papa shot.
Right up in this. Oh, well, the Papa shot we got already.
No, I mean you like bet on Papa shot.
Oh.
Well, I will say I do have things planned with the Papa shot.
Or darts. There's got to be darts on that you can bet on.
Oh, there's got to be. We got to do it during the darts thing.
We need to find where we can put a dartboard in here too.
Easy. Done.
Okay, we'll do that. That's fine. But then have to remove them after the stream for everyone's safety, specifically for Rocco if he ever comes back. We're not worried about Rocco. Well, all right, guys. I think we hit a quota for today.
Yep.
We had a lot of great conversations. We appreciate you guys. And before we get out of here, though, make sure from this stream, go to AutoStream Car Care Center. And here's the deal, guys. $50 off when you mention my name. You got a car issue. If it's as simple as you need new tires, you have some serious factory mechanical issues, or you just need something looked at with all this weather that's just been brutal this winter, they got 10 locations, and they are here to help you. So let us help you. Mention $50. Mention $50. Mention Ryan Ripken, and you get $50 off any service out there. I think it's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
When I move, you move, Zach.
Just like that.
Just like that. All right. Did we do it? Did we do the thing?
We did it. Yep.
All right. Hands in, guys, for the music. Hands in. Zach, hand to the screen.
Well, yeah.
All right. What should be on 3? 1, 2, 3. Sports.
Oh.
That was it. Okay. One more time. One more time. How about dogs? 3 dogs. 1, 2, 3. Dogs.
Okay, Basset Hound, baby.
Oh, I get it now. Basset Hound. As always here at the Ryan Ripken Show, we appreciate each and every one of you. Have a day, have a night, have a great stinking rest of your Thursday. And come back and join us tomorrow. We'll do it all over again here. Ryan Ripken Show live on YouTube, X, and Facebook. Maybe we do